Hustlers and my bro, yeah, we ain't going nowhere. Got you yelling, oh yeah. You want it, we got it. Put on the show, yeah. Gotta let you know, yeah. The way we rock and roll, yeah. Go for your stalkers. Hustlers and my bro, yeah, we ain't going nowhere. Got you yelling, oh yeah. You want it, we got it. Put on the show, yeah. Gotta let you know, yeah. The way we rock and roll, yeah. Go for your stalkers. Let's go the show. Front to back, inside the side. Let us take you on a ride. A good time is what we provide. So you know all that you have known before. We supply it so much more. We bring it rugged and raw. Release your inhibitions, man. Play your position, fam. Witness what hell of a band. It's the culmination of everybody showing love, even though we push it strong. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is live and loud with the Lord Nelson, that is, and we have a very, very special guest, a superstar in his field. He might be a little humble about it, but he's a superstar in his field, and the things that he does are amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Worden.
Got Hello, it right? Everybody.
Did I get it right? Buddy. I got it right. All right. Indeed, indeed. So we'll start it off. The first question I like to ask every single person is, where are you from?
I'm here in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and I wasn't born here. I was born in Winnipeg, which is
Winnipeg.
Kinda, middle of Canada, I guess, right? But moved out here when I was a kid and been here ever since.
So is it the Winnipeg? Is it the Jets or is it the Winnipeg Bombers?
Well, both. The Winnipeg Jets is the NHL hockey team, and the Bombers is football, Canadian Football League. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I used to watch Canadian football back in the day on ESPN back then. It was always kind of different. It was different. It was different for the NFL, but it was still cool, though. I used to watch a lot of it to be Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ottawa, I can't remember, but I used to watch a lot.
The Rough Riders. Yeah.
Ottawa Rough Riders, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, BC Lions is my team, but I'm not totally into football, but I used to love the Bombers, actually, but that was way back in the day. It's Dieter Brock. I don't know if you remember. Really dating myself, but he was like my hero quarterback, man. Really? He just fired bullets. Dieter Brock.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I once again, I remember that. People say like, hey, you're a cornball. I used to sit there and watch ESPN and watch all that stuff back in the day, most definitely. Yeah,
Warren Moon was the
Warren Moon.
He was the Edmonton Eskimos quarterback, right. and then he went to the NFL after a while. But yeah,
yes, indeed. Hey, he did work up there. He did a lot of. He got a lot of yardage up there. He played well up there. He really did.
Oh yeah. He was. Him and Dieter Brock were kind of at the time were the competing big quarterbacks of the Canadian Football League, right? But
yeah. And then what? Didn't Doug Flutie play up there for a little bit?
Yeah, he played for the BC Lions for a bit.
Yeah. And I know the guy I know, Tyrone Corbin played in the NBA, but his brother Daryl Corbin, he played up there in the Canadian Football League for a while, linebacker or whatever. He played up there. He's pretty good.
I'm not sure about him.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what is Vancouver known for?
Well,
other than great photography,
lots of rain, I guess it would be a lot of people know it for, which we do get a lot of rain in the wintertime and fall and stuff, but beautiful weather here most of the year, like, the summer and spring and stuff. I wouldn't live any other place, really. It's a beautiful city for sure. We got the mountains with the snow, we got the ocean, we got, beautiful city, but you just can head out into the forest and nature really easily. So it's a great place to live for sure.
So Vancouver is more toward the West Coast, right?
Yeah, we're right on the West Coast, like 2.5 hours from Seattle.
Oh, really?
So if you drive south from here, I could be in Seattle, and we're 45 minutes from the border, and then drive right to Seattle in 2.5 hours.
I don't know. I was thinking it was more middle. Okay, so almost really West Coast wise. Okay. Yeah. Got you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I didn't say it, he's a professional photographer and an amazing photographer. So you are a professional photographer, and I must say your work is amazing. What or who inspired you to become a photographer?
Well, when you say professional, I mean, I don't make a living off of photography, right? I got a day job. I actually do plumbing and heating. I'm a manager for a plumbing and heating company, but
Okay.
so photography is kind of my side gig or whatever. Like I don't make a ton of money off of it, and most half the shoots I do are not paid. They're just going out to create art, right? But
Really? Okay.
but yeah, I
I would
love
have never known
photography.
that. As great, the things that you do are amazing. So I would have never known that.
No, thank you, man. It's just I just have a lot of fun with it. I love just creating art and getting out there and I don't know, seeing what I can do, right? But how I got into it was more I just always, I guess all my life, even when I was a little kid, I had a film camera and I always loved taking pictures, but never really was serious about anything until maybe 10 years ago when I really started learning how to do manual settings on a camera and do all that. Otherwise, before that, it was just point and shoot. And I was always the vacation guy. If we were on vacation somewhere, I'd always be the guy with the camera and,
I have a friend like
taking
that.
the pictures. Yeah, like my wife would actually be like, "What, you don't even enjoy the vacation? You're just taking pictures all the time." I'm like, yeah, but that's how I enjoy it. Like then I can look back on it, right? So I've always been like that way. But like to learning the settings and actually diving into photography was maybe the last 8 or 10 years when I got more serious into it.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a fun journey. I started off, I guess, with more landscape photography. I'd go out and sunrise or sunsets and take pictures of that, and then I started. You use up all the spots close by, so you start going further and further, trying to look for beautiful things to photograph, and it started getting almost too hard to find new things, or I'd have to start going on really long drives or get up crazy early in the morning. So then I started doing more night photography, going to the city and taking pictures at night, which didn't matter so much on the weather. I didn't have to wait for a beautiful morning or a beautiful sunset. I could just do it any night. Matter of fact, when it was worse weather, is almost better, right? Like when it's raining or something's more interesting.
It does make it more interesting, indeed.
And then doing that, I started meeting people, because you don't want to be walking around with thousands of dollars of camera equipment in the city at night. So I started going with people and met a few people, and then started you get influenced from them. Like, so there's one guy in particular named Blake. His Instagram handle is Grafman 40. I can't do it. I have it in mind block. But anyways, what's the number for when the pot smokers?
420?
420. Yeah, Grafman 420. Well, that number was eluding me. I couldn't remember, but he's really good at long exposure and night photography. He gave me a lot of inspiration to get into the night photography stuff and long exposures, steel wool spinning. I don't know if you've seen any of my pictures of that.
Yes. And
kind of took it from there. Like the group we were hanging out with, I'd start incorporating people into my pictures, like just with them. And that kind of got me more into portraits. And then I started melding the two together with portraits with long exposures, like for the fire pictures and stuff. Fire pictures, I was inspired a lot by a couple of people in particular. Hologi on Instagram, his name's Chris, but his Instagram handle's Hologi. He's a master with steel wool and fire and stuff. So another inspirational guy. So just inspired by some people and started developing my own style off of that, right? But yeah, it's been a fun journey for sure.
Amazing. So now I know you said, like, I have that Nikon D3200 my boy Greg gave to me. He's got a lot of other cameras. He really, just like you said, he's the guy, like when you go on vacation or whatever like that, or at weddings, even at his one of his birthday parties, he was taking the pictures. They was like, "Hey, why don't you sit down somewhere?" But that's what he does.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah,
and he's good at it. And you were saying about learning it. That's the thing, that it can get really detailed. The stuff that you can do with the camera is unbelievable, but you have to learn it first, though. You really need to learn it. I mean, like doing all the manual stuff like that. Truthfully, now we spoke before, and I want to go back to it because it was good conversation. So you said that Georgia got you. She was like one of your first, like more of a person taking pictures of.
Yeah, there was a few people before that. Like again, the group that I was doing the walking around the city taking pictures with, I would incorporate some of them into my pictures at first, right? And then I did some photo shoots with a couple of, I guess, models or just people that I know and stuff. But Georgia contacted me, and she was kind of the first one that was like, to me at that time, it was like, oh my God, she's a very experienced model. And, you know, I was very nervous about doing the shoot and stuff. But after that, a lot more people started contacting me for shoots because she has quite a following, right? So she had, you know, a lot of people that followed her, you know, contacted me and wanted to do shoots and stuff. And that kind of gave me a kickstart into doing more of what I'm doing now with, you know, doing shoots with different models and, you know, doing that. So I hope I get a chance to shoot with Georgia again. She, like I said, she moved to California now. So hopefully she comes back here to Canada one day and we can do another shoot, because we were almost at our 10th shoot. So we got one more to go.
Almost at 10. Okay. So that's love. I mean, I just think you do a lot of amazing work. And so that's why it's still hard for me to believe, not hard for me to believe that when you said it, you know, you're not a professional. I just, you know, from my point of view and my perspective, just what you do is amazing. So I love it. So, you know,
yeah, I don't know, maybe with what I do, the type of photography I do doesn't transfer into making a ton of money off it, I guess, right? Like it's kind of limited, you know, but I don't do I'm not going to go do wedding photography or
right.
Stuff like that just kind of would bore me, right? So I guess I could try to make a living off of it, but I would end up probably doing a lot of photography that doesn't interest me as much, right? So and then maybe my worry, I guess, at that point would be if I'm doing weddings or doing stuff that's like, you know, let's say real estate or whatever, maybe I wouldn't have time to do the
You're too much of a creative for that kind of thing right there. No disrespect to people who take wedding photos, but you're too much of a creative to just limit yourself.
You can get very creative with that too, I think, too. I mean, I've seen some amazing wedding
photographers. I'm not saying it can't, but you know, that is what it is, though. You know, it's a more personal thing, you know?
Yeah.
This right here is what you do with the fire and everything, to me, is more like the world should see this. It's amazing. Everybody should see this and just say like, wow, look at this. And once again, I'll add some more things within here. So to me, you have a very distinct style that stands out with your usage of fire. No matter if it's a dark theme or more lighthearted one, you take the subject to another level. How has the use of fire heightened your photography?
I guess, I mean, I love the way the fire pictures turn out. They just seem so dramatic and different, I guess, than most things. I know there's other people doing fire photography. I'm definitely not the only one. I learned from a lot of stuff from Chris. Again, his Instagram handles Hologi, and another guy, Zach, in Dallas.
Graph 420.
Graphing 420 was more steel wool stuff.
But still fire,
learned from him. That's fire, yeah. And that's how, when I got into steel wool, that's where, you know, another guy that I follow, this Chris Hologi, he was doing some stuff with fire. I initially started following him because of the steel wool and stuff, but then I saw him doing the fire and I was like, wow, that's so cool. I want to learn how to do that, right? So he gave me some tips at first on how to make a fire stick and do all that. And at first I was using a fire stick that was made out of a wooden dowel and with just cotton rags stapled to it, and then pour some lighter fluid on it and go for it.
All right.
And then you'd have pieces of burning cloth flying everywhere. It was kind of dangerous, right? So then a friend of mine made one out of an aluminum stick wrapped with like a Kevlar material, and I've had that ever since. I've been using that for 2 years and works great. But I just love the dynamics of how the fire pictures turn out. You never really quite know what they're going to look like till you capture it, and then so I always love that feeling of you go to look at it on the camera and you're just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. So that's with any long exposure photography. Actually, that's kind of my fascination with it, is you don't know what that's going to look like until you do a 10-second or a 2-second long exposure, whatever it is. Even if it's just light trails of a car driving by or something, you don't know what that's going to look like. And you can kind of have an idea, but it's looking at it on the camera afterwards or putting it on the computer. And it's always a beautiful surprise. I love it. So So that's kind of why I love the long exposure stuff.
Listen, it's beautiful. And just like you said, the thing you're saying, you never know what you're going to get. And that's kind of like the excitement of it. That's,
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
totally exciting. Yeah,
and so now, so you say that, and really you answered this question within that is, what is it about using fire that excites your senses? And you kind of just really.
Yeah, that's it. But there's other stuff to it. Like while you're doing it, I guess there's a kind of a danger factor to it, of course. You know, you got to be very careful of the person, obviously, that I'm working with. I've never burnt anybody. I've burnt myself a few times. So you got to burn my eyelashes off once.
Really?
I burned my hand pretty bad once.
Ooh.
So I wear a fireproof glove, and live and learn with. I don't keep the fire too close to my face anymore. But yeah, it's a learning experience, I guess. But it's been a while since I burnt myself. Like I said, I've never burnt anybody, but there's the danger factor, and there's the whole, I guess it's pretty, like it attracts a bit of a crowd sometimes if there's people around. People are like, what the hell's going on? So it's kind of an exciting, fun, dangerous sort of thing. So it's just, I don't know, there's a thrill to it while you're doing it, right? So, and then like I said, looking at the pictures afterwards.
Do.
Maybe that's the same feeling. I don't know. A bit of a firebug, I guess. Now I know how arsonists feel, right?
Amazing, man. Indeed. So, I'm sorry, man. I am a visual person. I see things. I see everything that I talk about, so I apologize. So while you were saying that whole thing, I was picturing everything you were saying. So, forgive me. Visually, you truly pull the viewer into your world. There are so many aspects and layers to your photos. Do you see the photo mentally before you take it? And if so, how often do you pull it off, what you were thinking about or what you saw?
Actually, that's a good question. Like, because a lot of times I'll be heading out to a photo shoot, and I will have kind of a vision in mind of what I think I can do or what the pictures will look like and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I know I'm successful if I come home and like a lot of times I'll put it on the computer and it's like, oh, this is even better than what I envisioned I could do, right? And that's when I know I've nailed it, right? And sometimes you come home and it's like, it's not quite how I envisioned it going, but honestly, most of the time I can exceed what I was hoping to do, which I don't know, it's always a good thing. I'm not trying to say that as a bragging way. It's more, I don't know, just as I'm trying to picture what I'm getting better and better, I guess, of creating in the field what I envision I'm hoping to do, right? So
indeed. Awesome, yeah. Awesome. So which settings do you enjoy most while shooting? Meaning like the visual, because you were speaking about how you used to do one certain thing and then you started traveling to do other things, but which settings are the best for you?
You mean the setting as in?
Like you said, the city setting, looking at the moon.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I like all sorts of different settings. I mean, night photography, obviously, number one. Like I'm almost always shooting either sunset time or blue hour time or at night, and and I like shooting and creating my own lighting situations and stuff, or finding cool lighting situations at night. So yeah, I think the settings would be nighttime, and whether that's city or nature or something, I don't know, but probably my very favorite would be nighttime in the city as far as settings go. Yeah.
City types. I mean, when you have a nice big city with all the lights flickering and doing things, it's always beautiful. It's like you can't lose with that. And other than the golden time of the day when that sun is just at a perfect, it's just beautiful. I mean, it just can't, a manufactured light or a light created by a human cannot do what the sun does. And it's just
exactly. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It really is. And then I have a dude, Pierre Heineman. He's a hairstylist. And but he does photography now also. He's really gotten into it heavy. And he does models and things like that. And so, me watching what you do and stuff like that, not that you guys are doing the same thing, but it's just the fact that you guys are out there capturing what you feel is beautiful, and I just think that's an amazing thing. It really is. So
Thanks, man.
Who seeks your services the most? Music artists, models, businesses, or just John and Jenny from the block?
I guess probably just a mix of models and John and Jimmy from the block. Right? So yeah, just managed all through Instagram, so a little bit through TikTok, but my TikTok followers are mostly from the States, so it's harder to set up shoots there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, just people from Instagram, and a lot of it's just yeah, they find me, hit me up, and see if I'm available to do a shoot. I'm really busy for doing just the creative non-paid photo shoots right now. I don't really have time to take a lot of that on.
Right.
I'm taking it on with models that I've already worked with before, and we kind of just keep the streak going. Like after a photo shoot, we'll say, okay, we got to book another one here for X months away, and get them on my calendar, kind of thing, because it's always fun creating with a lot of these people, right? And a lot of these models actually, like, I have to give them credit. They come up with so many awesome ideas. Like for instance, the one I just did, I don't know if you saw, with the snakes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about it, most definitely. I was waiting for you to finish. I'm definitely going to ask you about it. Yeah, remember I said something like "Hungry Like the Wolf," because when I think about the Duran Duran video, "Hungry Like the Wolf," and she was kind of like, that's what it took my mind to.
What's funny is say the wolf, because our next shoot that we're planning is with wolves.
Oh,
so
really?
She knows a person who has wolves for the movie industry. And we're trying to set up a shoot now with that, with wolves. So it's really funny that you say that. But the snake one, it was kind of a loose concept. Like, she wanted to do a jungle concept at first, right? And then she knew this, or she had done a shoot, I guess, before with this guy who had the snakes. So she was like, oh, we could maybe go out there. And then I had the idea of having her painted up to look like a snake, and contacted the makeup artist. Like, I work with a couple of really amazing makeup artists, actually. So Iris, the makeup artist, did this incredible paint. Like, it looks so much like a snake. It's incredible.
Indeed, it does. It's amazing.
And that working with like people like that really does help make my photos that much better, for sure, right? So I definitely give credit to the people that I work with. So yeah, I got quite a few models that I work with over and over, and just go out and create. And then again, there's the people like John and Jane or whoever, just regular everyday folks that'll hit me up for a photo shoot, and then we'll work out what sort of, I'll go over with them what sort of concepts they want to do and achieve, and maybe get a makeup artist involved for that if they like, or a designer possibly, or whatever. Like, there's some people that I work with to help make those photo shoots even better. Sometimes it depends how far out people want to go, or how much they want to spend on a photo shoot too, right? Because it all costs money. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I definitely got to let my boy Relentless. He's in the band Vengeance. He does a lot of things. He's got Distilled Entertainment over there, and he lives in Napa, California. And I got to let him know about you, man. He might be able to. I don't know. Putting people together, man. There's no telling. I just think what you're doing is bigger than maybe what you even think it is. We're all humble to a point, but I think it might be bigger than what you think it is. It's just me. I would love to get into my NPO, as I like to tell people, my non-professional opinion. I just know what looks good to me visually. And so every time you put something out there, I'm just like, I take the time to really watch it and look at it. I'm just like, wow, I like that.
I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So what is the most fulfilling part of being a photographer?
Fulfilling, I guess, I don't know, getting all the amazing feedback when I post something, and I try not to get a swelled head actually sometimes, because people, I get so many amazing comments from people and stuff. So yeah, it's great. I must say, Instagram or TikTok is a great way to get feedback on your work, and when people are loving it, right? So that's very fulfilling to me. And then making the people that I take the pictures of, when I get their reaction, like, capital letters, oh my God, this is amazing. That's really fulfilling for me too. And you know, you send somebody some pictures you've taken of them and they go nuts and stuff. I just definitely good feeling. Yeah. So
No,
I'd say that's the most
listen, this is
very
awesome.
fulfilling.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if you can. Maybe you'll recall it. I know you've done a lot of them. You did one with the young lady, and then you had the broken glass like on the ground, or was it where she could see her reflection back from it?
Yeah. That was with Keely. She another model that I work with quite often. She's awesome to work with.
That was so cool because because I'm looking at the at her reflection in the glass, and I'm just like, it was glass, not water, right? It was glass, right?
It was a mirror. Yeah.
It was a mirror. Okay. And I just remember seeing the aspects of that. I was just like, man, I love that. It just was really cool. So those things that you can capture is just so many different layers to it, if people really pay attention to it. And so once again,
for sure.
I think you're doing amazing work. So
now, I've always liked working with reflections too. So that's another thing I've always kind of tried to incorporate into my pictures, whether it's a puddle on the puddles are my favorite. Whenever I see a puddle, I'm like, okay, we got to get a picture with this. Like, I don't know, adds a lot of interest. Like reflections to me kind of doubles the interest of the photo. Like so you got the interest up top, and then you got your reflection of the puddle below.
Exactly.
Or it could be, a glass wall on one side, or like you saw that the broken mirrors, or whatever. Just reflections definitely are something I look for all the time when I'm trying to take pictures. So.
Yeah, I think one of the first things I think I saw that when I really started liking, I kind of used some of your stuff in some of my little music things that I've done, but the woman on the horse, which you,
the skeleton.
Yeah, the skeleton. I was just like, when I saw that, I'm telling you, I was just like, man, that's just, listen, and I'm a grown man, but I don't really mess with horses. Horses are just like some gigantic animals and stuff. So first of all, just respect for her just being with that horse like that. I'm not gonna do it.
Actually she had never ridden a horse before.
Really?
And then she climbed on that thing bareback. Like she was amazing. That's actually the same model, Shauna, that I just did the snake photo shoot with. So
oh, is that the same woman?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's awesome. I've worked with her quite a few times, but she had the idea. That was her concept, to go out there to. Her daughter does riding lessons there, so that's how she knew the person with the horse.
Gotcha.
And then she sent me a picture of a woman on a horse painted like a skeleton like that, right? And I didn't want to copy it completely, although I must say, I guess if you compare them to it, you can see where we got the idea from, right? But I just was hoping to be able to, like, when she showed me the picture, I was like, geez, I hope we can do something as good as this.
Right.
But the setting that we ended up getting out there with this old barn, and then the sun was setting just perfectly. It was these dramatic skies and stuff.
Yes.
Couldn't have been better. Like, it just worked out so good. And the makeup artist, there was 2 makeup artists that did the horse and the model. They just did such a good job. Like, everything, like, again, when you're saying, do you picture something in your mind, or, I had this vision in my mind of how I want it to be, but the pictures ended up being way beyond my expectations. I was just so happy with it, right? So that was definitely an epic photo shoot. Just a memorable one for sure.
Indeed. That was it's like, it's a different kind of beautiful. It really is. It's a different kind of beautiful, and that's the more darker side, but it's a different kind of beautiful.
Dark beauty, I guess. Yeah, for sure, man.
Now, I think this is you, and correct me if it's not. The pumpkin head.
Yeah, that's my brother-in-law. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, a guy and I, dude named Dash, he put out this Halloween thing. I did this Halloween thing with him. He did a little Halloween song he wanted to put out. So I told him, I said, man, this guy, Insta Dave on Instagram. I said, you got to check this out, man. And what we did was nothing like what you guys did, but I was just like, I don't even want to mess with what you're doing, because I want to put my music with this, because I got a song called Welcome to the Dark Side. I don't think I put it out, but I looked at that and I wanted to put it with it so badly, because I was just like, this is amazing. Hey, listen, that was another great one. All of them are great, but that was another great one, man. I was just like, wow. I
Actually,
really love that one. I really love that.
that's my brother-in-law, Dave. His name's Dave too, but
Uh-huh.
he this was years ago, I guess maybe 4 years ago. I had this concept, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I guess I'm happy with my work. You know, I was just like feeling like, what am I doing here? Like, just, you know, sometimes you question like, why am I doing this for a living or whatever, right?
I hear you.
So I had this concept in mind of this guy in a suit. I don't even wear a suit at work, but it was more this guy in a suit, and he's sick of the whole corporate world and working and stuff. So I had this concept of him wearing a suit, walking into the distance on this highway,
Right.
with the papers spilling out of his briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him Suit and Tie Guy.
Right.
And then that was and actually that came from a heavy metal band, which you probably remember, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles.
Yes, yes.
DRI.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this song, Suit and Tie Guy. And it was a wicked song, man. Like, suit and tie guy, going to the bathroom for a dude. But anyways, that's where I got the Suit and Tie Guy name from. And that kind of started this whole ongoing, you know, photographic journey with my brother-in-law, where we put him in different crazy situations. And
Right.
like, I've had pictures of him in his suit swimming underwater, or trying to pretend to jump off of the biggest bridge here in Vancouver, which when we did that, the cops came, and a police boat came under the bridge and stuff, and they closed the bridge down for a few minutes to see what the hell we were doing. So that was a bit of an incident, but
wow.
So that started the legend of him, actually. But anyways, then when Halloween came along, I had the idea of cutting out a pumpkin and sticking it on his head and having him, you know, walk around in his suit, and just went from there. Now every Halloween we kind of got to do it. I go and find a pumpkin that'll fit his giant head, because he's got a big head. So I have to find a big pumpkin, right? And then every year I try to carve the same face into it, and but it's fun.
I'm laughing at that. You say you have to find a giant. I'm listen. They always mess
He's
with me
got
about
a
my
big
head
head,
size and
actually.
everything. I understand. Awesome.
But yeah, he's a trooper, man. Like, the stuff I've put that guy through, he's just, I don't know.
You said he's a trooper, like, and that's love. You have, you know, a subject like that, willing to do it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I don't know if you saw my New Year's post where I was trying to get a firework into the picture, and it accidentally exploded like right beside his feet, and he's jumping around like a madman.
I'm almost positive I have. I've watched probably everything you've done. I can say that.
But that's same guy. Same guy as the pumpkin head. He's he'll do anything, man. And just if I ask him, he'll be like, "Sure, I'm game. Let's do it."
That's awesome, man. I mean, that just adds to your creativity. You have somebody wanting to, you know, willing to do things, not just try things, but do things. That's good.
Oh, yeah, he has as much fun as me, so that's good.
Yes, indeed. All right, so man, listen. Okay, so this is the last question. I don't want it to end. It's been great. I don't want it to end.
Right on.
Definitely. So, what or who would be your Olympic gold medal subject to photograph?
Oh, geez, that's a tough question, man.
Yeah, I think about these questions. This is just all out of my mind. I just sit there and I look at what you're doing, and I just say, like, I want to ask these questions.
Honestly, that's a tough one, man. I don't know. Like,
maybe
I mean, I'd love to do like a music video or something for a famous, you know, heavy metal band, or I think like that's one thing. I guess even before photography, I was always into making kind of music videos out of my vacation videos, and I put them to different tunes and stuff, and I've always loved doing that. So I guess I don't know, I'd love to do a music video for a famous heavy metal band, or like Metallica or something. I don't know, like, you know, just pick any heavy metal band. Actually, anything like that would be a gold medal thing for me, for sure.
Awesome.
And then I could involve my fire and smoke and effects and all that shit into it.
And I can see it, and I'm glad.
I think I could nail it.
I'm glad you said that, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to ask you more. I don't know how I missed it, but I wanted to ask you if you had done any, like, you know, more music videos or anything like that with, you know, with your fire and everything like that.
No, just, I mean, besides the reels that I make for,
Mhm.
you know, Instagram and TikTok and stuff, I've never done a music video for anybody. I've done photo shoots for a couple of musicians, but and for a band and stuff, but that's something I definitely, I think I could do a lot more of. I think my style of photography definitely suits, you know, heavy metal or hip hop even, or whatever.
Yes.
I could do some pretty cool stuff for that, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
telling
I'm not
you.
totally a video guy. Like, honestly, my videos are all just with my iPhone, right?
Mhm.
If you asked me to do a proper video on my camera, I probably wouldn't be able to, really. And I just edit my videos on my iPhone too. So I'm not seriously into
Yeah.
cinematography and stuff, but I
But
think it's something I could get more into and do.
you wouldn't be opposed to doing it if the opportunity came for you to do it.
Absolutely, man. Like, I mean, with your own band there, if they ever could come up to Vancouver, we'd do some sort of music
Listen,
video, it'd be amazing.
I'm telling you, man, I've talked with Matt, and so we've talked about a few things, and then it would be just cool, because even with Relentless, and the reason why I said I want to make sure that Relentless knows who you are, and just in case he has any connections that he might be able to get you with, because he knows a great deal of people. And even my guy over here on the East Coast, he's with a lot of bands and stuff like that too. And I just think that what you're doing is amazing, and it would be cool. And I just think it would resonate with people. Yeah, man. I just think you're dope what you're doing, man. And
Awesome,
I'm just
man.
thankful and grateful that, you know, you took the time out of your busy schedule to be on this little old show with this big guy who's a little guy. So
no, I really appreciate the interest, man. It means a lot. And yeah, thanks for having me on, for sure.
It's all love. It's all love. Well, I'm trying to think. Do I have anything else to ask you, man? I'm just no, it's just been another great episode. I am having so much fun talking with people that I enjoy and that I want to talk to. I can talk to anybody because I love to run my mouth, but I mean, everybody that I've had on the shows and all the episodes, because I've got some great episodes coming up with some other music people and stuff like that. And it's just beautiful, man. So once again, thank you very much. So
no, appreciate you having me on.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Once again, I almost forgot. Please give the people your social media stuff and all your particulars so they can get in touch with you if they need to.
Well, it's Insta Dave W. So Insta Dave W, all one word, and that's on TikTok and Instagram. So if y'all want to check that out and hopefully give me a follow, and that'd be awesome. If you like my work, you know. If you don't like it, don't follow. But
listen, we're not worried about people who don't like it. Listen, it don't matter, because everybody's not gonna like what we do. It's all love, you know. We leave them over there. They can stay over there. It's no problem. We focus on the people who show us love. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly, right.
I stay on the positive side of things, man. I stay on the positive side of things. But once again, what else did I want to ask you, man? So many things are flooding in my mind right now. I'm not gonna keep you much. I'm not gonna keep you longer, man. It's all love. We'll have another conversation.
That's cool.
You'll be on again. We'll do it again. But
for sure, man.
Tell Georgia I said hello when you talk to her, and tell her I'd love her to be on this show. And I'm gonna hit her up anyway. But you know, you're a little bit closer. But it's beautiful. So, right ladies and gentlemen, this is Live and Loud with the Lord Nelson, that is, with the amazing photographer, Dave Worden. Unbelievable, man. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
All right,
man. Be good.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yes,
take care.
Peace.